Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
Let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon.
Pumped up on Mars, juice, and ketamine.
He is the Thomas Edison plus of our age.
Probably his whole life is from a position of insecurity. I feel for the guy.
I would say 98% really appreciate what he does, but those 2% that are nasty, they are out there in full force.
We are meant for great things in the United States of America, and Elon reminds us of that.
I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Okay, Elon Inc. listeners, our time together has come to an end. You know, we woke up the other day and realized that Musk had, for a few minutes at least, lost his claim to world's richest person and just said, oh, the hell with it. We don't do no shows around here about no second-rate billionaires. What do you think this is? It's numero uno o nada. We're done. Okay, so the actual story here is a little different than that, and Elon Inc., to be clear, isn't totally going away. It's just getting folded into our fantastic brand new show here, Everybody's Business, co-hosted by Elon Inc.'s very own Max Chafkin. Now, Max, tell them how it's going to work.
Yeah, so just as Tesla acquired Solar City,
Yes.
and in doing so incorporated the mission of Solar City and bailed it out, Everybody's Business.
We were Solar City.
We have this new show, Everybody's Business, that like you said, David, I'm co-hosting, and try to bring a lot of the same spirit that we had in Elon Inc. in terms of both like journalistic rigor as well as like real talk, like talking about the business world as it actually is with some of the smartest people we know. And, you know, all of our Elon Inc. panelists, including the ones who are going to be on this show today, are on Everybody's Business. We're going to keep talking about these issues, and I really hope that the Elon Inc. Nation,
Yes.
the listeners of this show who have been so enthusiastic and loyal through our, capers and some of the silliness that we
And they
them
put up
through,
with you.
We'll come on over and join us over at the Everybody's Business feed and keep talking to us, keep sending and others involved in the show emails.
It's going to be amazing. And of course, Bloomberg readers will continue to get all the great coverage that our ace journalists deliver day in and day out. Max, Dana Hull, Kurt Wagner, Sarah Frier, and many more. And for our final show, we've assembled those stars. We got the whole band together here. Dana, Kurt, Sarah, Max, welcome to you all.
Thanks for having us, David.
Thank you.
Kurt, say something.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my turn. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to miss hanging out with you guys every Tuesday morning.
Yes, we are as well, but that's why we're going out with the bang here, Dana. And so, okay, what we're going to do is a little bit of a look back at the wildest moments in Elon during these past 2 years we've been airing the show, and then a look forward full of brilliant, and I highlight brilliant, zany predictions to give you all a bit of a North Star to guide you in lieu of this steady weekly fix. Okay, so looking back, it's been, Max, it's been like just about 2 years, 22 months. There's been a lot of wild stuff. What is your wildest moment in the land of Elon past 2 years?
Oh, my God. I think it was when he imploded in his role in the Trump administration. The exit from Doge, the going out with a bang, the decision not only to leave, but to leave by calling for the impeachment of the president of the United States, accusing him, the president of the United States again, of unspeakable crimes after just a couple months earlier wearing a hat that said Trump was right about everything. It was amazing.
The hat should have just simply been like, Trump was right about open parens, mostly close parens, everything. And then it would have been good.
I mean, just as far as like political feuds, we've had a feud watch on this show many times. That was obviously the Elon feud to end all feuds. I think it remains the Elon feud to end all feuds. We can talk about that when we go look forward. But maybe of all feuds in all of history, that's pretty high up.
Well, at least in that short span of time, as far as social media drag them out, sock them out, F you, I'm going to kill you, no, I'm going to kill you. Yeah, that would rank pretty high. Before I turn it over to the rest of our star-studded cast here, we got from some friends of the show, we had them send in their recollections of the wildest moments of the past 2 years. Let's listen to a couple of them.
I think the most noteworthy Elon story stems from his support of President Trump, his role in getting President Trump reelected as president of the United States of America, that bromance parlaying into Doge.
The craziest Elon moment wasn't even a real Elon moment. It was an Elon Inc. moment when someone pitched the idea that X was being used for pornography.
I think it still has to be the Nazi salute.
I've got to go back to the very first month of this podcast, November 2023. Elon sat down with Andrew Ross Sorkin at the New York Times Dealbook Summit. When he brings up Bob Iger, Musk snapped. He literally with his chest, I hope they stop. Don't advertise. And Musk defiantly says, GFY. This is a family show after all.
Okay, so those were in order. Joel Weber, Brendan Newnham, Rehan Harmansi, who, by the way, back when she was an employee here, had the idea for this very show. And Craig Trudell. Now, we should note that there's been much debate about the stiff Musk arm raise and whether it was truly a Nazi salute or just an awkward gesture from an awkward guy. Musk, for his part, dismisses the criticism as absurd. Dana, you'll give us your highlight or two over the past couple of years. But before you do, give us your thoughts on what we just heard from our friends there.
Well, these are all great examples. And I think one thing to remember is that Elon Musk speaks more than any other CEO in corporate America. I mean, the guy is super overexposed. I'm kind of surprised that nobody mentioned him wielding a chainsaw on stage at CPAC. That was another moment. But to Max's point, like the whole narrative arc of his politics, from barnstorming across the state of Pennsylvania to Inauguration Day to then like exiting the White House with a black eye. I mean, it's like so cinematic almost. And it's very Shakespearean. And I mean, we could just go on and on and on.
You know, it's funny, Max, listening to what our friends had to say. Brendan Newnham was number 2. Brendan's remembering a very funny...
That he acted like that didn't happen in real life. Like that was a real thing that happened in the world. People, there's a lot of porn on X.
That Rehan was full of...
Does he really?
He does.
Yeah.
We have an expert here on said platform, Sarah Frier. Actually, we have two, both Sarah and Kurt. Is porn a huge thing on X, or, as Brendan says, was it wildly overstated by our good friend Rehan Harmansi?
I mean, didn't Elon just basically roll out a chatbot that will talk dirty to people? I mean, I feel like this is pretty widely understood that if you want to find porn on X, it is not hard to find, I think is maybe the short version.
I see.
You guys, Sarah and Kurt, and I'm sure Dana, have had the experience of like maybe a couple years ago when it was really out of control, where you'd be like looking for some Elon tweet at the office, and then just be confronted with something horrible, just obscene.
It not just porn; it's like blatant racism, images from lynchings. Like it's gotten really dark on X.
Sarah, what was your biggest surprise, your wildest moment these past 2 years?
I mean, Max took the best one, but that was just such a vivid memory for me because we were having our tech conference, so we had all of these executives that were giving these really brilliant interviews on stage. And I just couldn't stop looking at my phone. I feel bad about that. But Kurt and I were sitting next to each other and we were just like, did he just say he's going to cancel all the contracts with SpaceX? Like, did he just say that Trump's name is in the Epstein files? We were just like, what is going on? Like, these guys were tight. And now the blow up is aligned with their way of behaving they're very similar, Trump and Musk, in that they do a lot of their grievances out in the open, and that's how they get things done. And to see that happen actually way later than a lot of us predicted it would.
Right. It just took a while to fester. I believe we have more audio clips from friends of the show giving us their highlights these past 2 years.
The craziest, most noteworthy thing Elon did, at least in my world of Washington, D.C., was last summer when he got into a physical altercation with Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary of all people.
Remember like a year or two ago when Elon kept promoting all these picturesque images and artwork on X? Maybe it was landscapes, maybe a beautiful bed, some flowers. To me, it was just such a stark reminder that among all these global stakes, there's a human inside this story.
One day, Elon was going on a tirade on X and then basically said, we need to get rid of the International Space Station. And that had a lot of reverberations throughout the space industry. So, yeah, those were some big unexpected moments.
Okay, so that was in order. Josh Green, fellow Conn College alum, Magnus Henriksen, our supervising producer, making his on-air debut on the last show. Max.
Deep cut there from Magnus, I have to say. And
he went on. And notice how Magnus didn't cut back his own.
Vividly. And super fans of the show will remember on our second end of the year special. It might have been the second episode of the second end of the year special. Because as you remember, David, you were not making these. You were on vacation, enjoying your holidays. But the rest of us here were making them. Those were two-parters. Anyway, we had some fun talking about these like beautiful, I guess maybe possibly AI generated or AI slop type roomscapes or whatever, where like Elon...
They seem to make to really have an impact on Magnus.
Elon would like spend like 363 days out of the year just posting the most provocative stuff you could possibly imagine on X. And like 2 days out of the year would say to himself, wait a minute, like, have I gone too far? Maybe I should just put a like beautiful room here and encourage people to post more nice things. And I don't know, it was very funny. I agree. That was a good one.
And it's all Magnus seems to have remembered. So apparently, Mr. Musk, it worked. The other person we heard from there in the end talking about space and SpaceX was Lauren Grush. Kurt Wagner, what say you?
Yep.
Your wildest, favoritist moment these past 2 years?
Well, since I'm going like 20th on the list, my top two have been taken. They go in order. The breakup was number one. Max is correct. The GFY on stage in New York, I think, was number two. But I'm shocked no one has said the third most surprising, which is everything's computer. Do you remember when the White House was turned into a Tesla showroom and the president of the United States like was selling America Teslas from the lawn of the White House? That was a pretty crazy moment. And I think what made it so like interesting was also just the visual of it. Like it wasn't just he said or tweeted something. It was like we saw them standing there with the cars on the White House lawn. And I think
surreal.
You know, I had to go to number 3 on my list because, you know, someone didn't call me in time, but
I knew I was confident you're a resourceful sort, and I knew you'd have, many possibilities. I will go dead last, and I will also, without pouting about it, Kurt, I will piggyback on others, especially Dana, and say, just his stage presence in general. Not only was the chainsaw one and the screaming of chainsaw as he swung the chainsaw around, but then the jumping around. Remember, there was that Pennsylvania.
That was on my list. The little dance he did.
I just didn't know what to do with. I still don't know what to do with that.
I took the most obvious one, and I kind of regret
everyone's
it.
Bitter about it
because there so much has happened over the last year, and I was thinking as I was listening to everybody else give theirs, like one thing that made this show sort of hard to make and maybe interesting is that
maybe
Elon for most of his career was very, very successful, and the last 2 years have not been the most successful time of Elon's career. I mean, besides the election of Donald Trump, it's been actually pretty hard to find like real I don't know. Like, I guess we've
Yeah,
had a
just
few...
beyond from a monetary.
No, even monetarily, the stock is flat. I mean, the stock hasn't gone up that much. Like, I don't know. Like, you go back to, it's like basically the stock price today, as we record this, is about where it was. At the end of, Dana will know better than me, but like end of 21, early 22. Like, we've had a long period
between drinks.
And like, I guess he did like put a chip in someone's brain.
Yeah. Dana, what say you? Is Max right about this? Is he in a funk over there?
I mean, so the Model Y was the best-selling car in the world in 2023. It sold over like 1.2 million units. That was like the peak of Tesla as a car company. But since then, like they're losing market share. BYD is taking over the world. The stock is down from its peak right before the election. I mean, I think that like the other sub-narrative is like Elon is bored of making cars, and he's completely pivoted his entire company, which has factories on 3 continents, from making cars to making robots and being an AI company. Like, that's like a huge narrative shift that the communication has been super weird about, and that investors seem to be buying. But like, this is fundamentally a different company now.
I mean, another really weird thing that happened this year is he found a way to pay off all his debt holders for buying Twitter. Like, I didn't think that would happen. I didn't think he would actually make them whole in a short enough period of time, but he found a way for XAI to swallow X and turn it into something that was valued highly. So that, to his credit, worked out.
Yeah, and the valuation of his private companies continues to skyrocket. I mean, SpaceX is a highly valuable company. And so I see your point, Max, but I still think that, he's still the richest person in the world. He's still incredibly powerful. His empire is expanding. I mean, they've got this data center in Memphis. They're going to build stuff in Houston. Like, his tentacles are continuing to spread throughout the energy infrastructure of the United States. And as AI becomes a bigger thing, you're going to see Tesla selling its megapacks to AI companies. I mean, the whole thesis of the show, which is that it's not just Tesla or X or SpaceX, it's Elon Inc., is still very valid and stronger than ever.
Okay. So this is good because Dana's starting to tip us into the future and to what's to come here. So why don't we, across the board here, all tell our listeners what you guys think are the biggest Elon story, event / storyline that you will be following going forward. In other words, I guess if you had to think about it, it would be as goes X, not the company X, sorry, as goes fill in the blank, comma, so too goes Elon Inc. Max, we'll start with you. No, wait a minute. We're not going to start with Max.
Yeah,
Kurt.
Give Kurt the first.
I knew it.
Last
I knew I was going to get first.
Now, exactly.
I don't know how far in the future we're allowed to go, and I don't know how cheesy we're allowed to be.
Up to 1,000 years.
My genuine answer is sending a human to Mars. Like, we've been talking about it for, a decade plus, probably more than that for Elon.
You got a year. Wagner, what's your
Kurt,
year?
Give me a year. Yeah, give us
a
date on that one.
Oh, what is it? It is 2025.
25.
Kurt's checking his watch.
Yeah.
Checking my watch.
Yeah.
That's like the oldest. Yeah. That was like the old man thing I just did. What time is it? Years? I think we're another 7 years away. No, 10 years away. I'm going to say 2035.
Okay. And I would say if that happens, yes, the Elon Inc. empire.
Wouldn't that be crazy? I mean, we've been talking about it forever, and part of why I like it is it's one of the very few things Elon touches that I think people, a broad spectrum of people, are interested in and excited about, which is the idea of doing something in space that has never been done before. It is not controversial in the way almost everything else he does is. And so for me, I think that will be a fun moment if it actually happens, because I think people who don't like Elon will be rallied behind the effort.
Got it.
I feel like I disagree that it's not controversial, though. Like, people are
really
pretty pissed off. Yeah, they're like, you're spending all these natural resources on sending us to Mars when, like, there's so much to fix about our current planet.
Don't give up on this planet yet. Stick with this planet. Invest in it before you are ready to hopscotch over to another.
The idea of being a multiplanetary species.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's me. There you go. I'm done.
All right. So, Sarah Frier, what say you?
I mean, the thing I'm really just thinking is going to drive so much in the next few years is this rivalry with Sam Altman and OpenAI, and the idea that Musk is just going to do whatever he can to capture that success for himself and exceed it, right? So he's got the lawsuit, he's got the data centers, he's got the plan for Tesla to invest in XAI. He's got all of these irons in the fire that are aimed at overtaking. He's got Grok. So I think that that's going to be like a driving force for him. And we've seen it already affect so much of his behavior. But the idea that he like left OpenAI and then it became so successful, I think really eats at him.
Yeah, and I guess that's right. I mean, Max, if you think about the whole way he is in tipping Tesla, the direction he's tipping it is indeed part of, it feels like at some level in part fueled by this beef with Altman.
I mean, I wonder how, when the AI bubble bursts, whether it's a bubble or whether this kind of period of exuberance just sort of fizzles a little bit, like how that is going to impact Elon's empire, because he is really, really, Sarah's hinting at it, right? Like he is really heavily bet on this thing continuing. And so, and you could see it in the valuation of XAI, you can see it in the valuation of Tesla and the way he's sort of pivoting Tesla, and in this sort of echo that happens on the stock market, where like Tesla's, wildly overvalued relative to its business. Like that has been a thing that we have sort of talked about over and over again on this podcast. And if for some reason that changed, then, or even if it were valued a little bit differently, that would be kind of like a catastrophic thing to happen to Elon. Like it's not like it would bankrupt him. It's not like it would take away the car sales. It's not like it would take away any of these achievements, but it would put him in a very, very different position.
Yeah, it would certainly make the pivot to AI, going all in on AI, feel like
he would certainly be less rich than Larry Ellison at that point.
Right.
No, but Larry Ellison's wealth would fall too, right?
Well, that's true. That's true.
Who does that? Then that brings up, I don't know. That whoever that person is that goes to number one, that'll be the next show. That
the Waltons coming back.
Waltons. Walmart Inc. Dana, guide us. What's your thought?
I mean, the next decade of Elon is going to be super interesting because now Tesla's board has proposed this incredible, Mars shot pay package to keep him focused on hitting all of these like sort of AI goals and making it an $8.5 trillion company. And 10 years from now, Elon Musk will be like 64, 65. Like we have to sort of like think about the succession plan for his companies whenever he decides to hand over the reins. So I think that's like a super interesting storyline. And then like his personal life, I think, is still an endless source of fascination. Like one of the big reveals of the past year was that Ashley St. Clair revealed that she had also had a child with Elon Musk. Right. So that makes 14 that we know of. And between his businesses, his involvement in national politics, and also his sort of like obsession with declining birth rates and fertility, like I'm just super interested in that. Like, what is he doing on that from a business perspective? Like, is he investing in fertility startups or IVF centers? Like, he's got to be doing something beyond just procreating himself. That's my suspicion.
All right, Dana, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but I'm curious what you think the real number is. So, like, we know of 14. Is it double? Is it triple? Do we need a third digit to express that number?
Is he like an anonymous sperm donor? Like there was something about a Japanese pop star at some point. I really don't know.
All right, it's your turn, Mr. Chafkin. What you got?
Can I react to something Kurt said first before I give mine?
Yes.
Which is
permitted.
I agree. Like a person going to Mars would be an amazing achievement. And I think, and when Kurt first said it, I was like, oh, come on. Like, because Elon has said we're going to send somebody like in 2 years or something. He's given these ridiculously optimistic goals. And I think 10 years is probably like a more plausible suggestion, maybe even a little longer. But I want to just say, like, that's not going to be just Elon Musk's achievement. Like, Elon Musk may play a role in that story. And if that story happens, he will likely play a role, but he won't be the only player in that story. It's going to be an achievement for the United States and for humanity. And I think people sometimes make mistakes when they give Elon credit for things that aren't totally his doing, right? Like this is, and I think this has come up a lot in the SpaceX story. There's a lot of talk about how SpaceX is the only, like, it's like SpaceX versus NASA, which kind of elides the fact that SpaceX is a NASA contractor, that some NASA administrator was like, hey, it would be a really good idea to fund this company to provide commercial transport. And it also elides all the other players in this value chain. And so just wanted to put that out there. I just feel like sometimes we buy into this narrative like Elon is like the sole actor moving us to Mars. And it's like,
yeah.
The other thing I want to say is
So, Kurt, that was lame, man. That's what Max is telling you.
No, I thought it was a cool...
I took the opposite. I thought he was just validating my wonderful
It was
selection.
a good prediction.
So thank you.
Max, what do you got? What are you expecting? What are you closely watching with bated breath?
Politics and Elon's continued political engagement. I think this is a huge question. There's a line in the Tesla proxy that says he's going to wind down his political activities. Bloomberg TV just had an interview with Robin Denholm where our colleague and friend of the podcast, Ed Ludlow, asked, or maybe it was Caroline Hyde, Ed's co-host, what do you mean by wind down? And she just didn't answer the question and effectively indicated that they consider donating, talking about politics, maybe even engaging in like a political party to be his personal political activities. I would guess that his personal political activities will be like the defining story of not just Elon world, but of all of Republican politics and maybe all of national politics.
And if it goes
in the years to come.
If it goes sideways on him, does it threaten to derail the empire, the Musk empire?
No. I mean, what do you mean derail the Musk empire?
I don't know, like sink its value towards zero.
Well, he's got a lot of money to spend on politics. So, like, I'm not really sure.
Like what I'm getting, like, so for instance, right now, when you guys talk about the collapse in the fundamentals of Tesla, one of the big drivers of the collapse of the fundamentals in Tesla is he is now alienated, with his politics. He's alienated maybe 60 or 70% of his potential buyer base or his client base.
I think, like Dana has said a bunch of times, he's moving on from the car business. So yes, he's alienated his base of customers.
He needs political motes. He needs new lines of business that have...
Tesla is a meme stock now. So like when we talk about the value of Tesla, we're saying like at what point will these shareholders decide that they don't like it anymore? And I would not feel confident predicting that the stock's going to go.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's cool. But like it is worth more than $1 trillion. And I would just say that at some point it's possible that if the financials in the short term collapse to an extent that like, oh my God, we're cash flow negative again. Like, I don't know. You could get a holy crap moment. I'm not predicting it.
All
I'm just
saying is
I
think Elon has enough juice within the conservative movement and enough money that like he's not going to be on an island by himself. He has an important ally in Vice President J.D. Vance. He has important allies in the Republican Party. It's true that he and Trump don't have a good relationship, but I would be really, really, really surprised if he is not a factor in Republican politics in the midterm and in the next presidential election.
I think the mistake that people make about Elon is time and again, people think, okay, this is it. This is going to be the downfall of Elon Musk. But he is too big to fail. He has a wide-ranging empire with installations in several congressional districts. He has lucrative government contracts. He is deeply embedded in several different industries, and the car business is only one of them. I mean, for all of the consternation about his involvement in politics, like the company is still worth over $1 trillion. Like it doesn't yes, it has impacted sales, but it has not impacted him in the eyes of investors. And there's this loop of, Wall Street investment banks and analysts and Musk, and like time and again, they will make fees working with this guy, and he is brilliant at raising money, and like people want to invest in him. Like they will invest in whatever he wants to do.
I would say, Dana, that absolutely you were ahead of that in saying this guy, it's far less likely that he will blow up years ago when many others were saying he would. My issue is I think nobody's saying that now, and maybe that's right. Maybe he is too big, and maybe that is right. I just don't know that just given the nature of how divisive he is and given how many plates he's got in the air and this and that, I just think it's still an open-ended question. And given how he has alienated a huge part of his customer base, and maybe you're right, Max, maybe all of his future businesses are totally shielded from this. Maybe his future businesses, whether or not he's alienated a customer base, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe.
I mean, you obviously become biased based on like what you've seen. And having seen, as we have, Elon survive scandal after scandal after scandal, what's going to do him? So like, obviously Elon's empire could go in decline. It maybe already is in decline. And I think there's a chance you look
that's
back.
Why you were sort of arguing that yourself.
You look back
20 minutes
I
ago.
think there's a chance like we look back 20 years from now and we say, yeah, this was the moment when he started.
Well, I think that's a good question. Like has Elon peaked? I think we were like looking at this, this podcast ending and it's like, well, this was the year that Elon was the quote unquote shadow president, right? He got as close to geopolitical peak of power as you can get without actually being president. And that's over. So has his influence peaked? I guess maybe not like I think his businesses have lots of second lives, but has his influence on the geopolitical order peaked? Maybe it has. Maybe it's just the beginning. Maybe Elon Musk continues internationally, makes big change in Europe. We don't know.
Before we go to the more concrete predictions part of the show, I will just say one thing. Looking back, I will pivot back now. We would not be talking about Elon Musk today. He would be a nobody if interest rates in this country weren't zero for the better part of the past 20 years. That is also an enormous thing that helped him survive that whole time. If interest rates weren't zero and money and insane amounts of money weren't sloshing around the global economy and in the U.S. economy and the U.S. financial system, he wouldn't have gotten those much needed injections of cash when he and his companies were like razor close to going under. That's my hot take. All right. We have from our good friends, we have some concrete, tangible predictions. Here they are. Let's listen.
As much as he wants to stay away from politics, I think it is like a moth to a flame. I don't think he's totally done with politics.
There's this big push for NASA to beat the Chinese government to the moon. And so is there going to be some kind of, I guess, division between NASA and SpaceX if it's taking too long? So how will that affect the NASA and SpaceX relationship going forward?
In the next 5 years, Elon, the grandfather, will be kind of a reminder of him growing older. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see, Elon in a convertible. That's what I think is going to happen.
I think in the next couple of years, Elon is going to become Christian. I'm using air quotes. He keeps tracking far right. J.D. Vance, late blooming Catholic. Russell Brand got baptized. But that's my prediction. Elon Musk, Christian.
I have a feeling that the craziest thing that will happen in Elon's future is on the social media platform he owns. I think he's going to start to lose followers.
I think the natural thing for Elon is that he's going to have to pick a fight with a new high-profile nemesis. And the guy that seems most obvious to me would be Sam Altman. This is the Elon story that will keep us all riveted and watching and reading and podcasting about Elon in the year ahead.
I think we're in for another X post that causes a "you have said the actual truth" level uproar or worse. Elon has just been getting darker and darker on X of late. And I can see Musk, in his words, uttering something that is a new, worse, and dumbest post that he's ever done.
Okay, that was in order again. Joel Weber, Lauren Grush, the great Magnus Henriksen, Brendan Newnham, Rehan Harmansi, Josh Green, Craig Trudell, Sarah. Josh there was on your Sam Altman feud. Everyone's getting hyped up about this. This is going to happen, isn't it?
It is happening. It's happening right now.
It is happening. The actual cage match. Man, Max, in an actual cage match, Altman doesn't match up
He's
well.
a small guy, yeah. You know, the one thing I'll say is he does seem to have some agility, so that could give him a...
He is.
Sorry.
He's nimble. He's nimble. It would give him an advantage. He could run circles around Musk. Before I press you guys for predictions on a couple specific things, any other reactions to our...
Those are some lame predictions. That's my reaction. I mean, like, half of those predictions...
You don't like Magnus's prediction?
Every single one of them have already happened, I think.
Musk is a Christian?
Elon sells, he has sold in the past a convertible. I'm sure he owns it.
This is why Magnus, we don't have him on air.
Musk becoming a Christian, I don't know. He tweets about Christianity all the time. The Sam Altman feud is going on right now. Like, I want some real predictions from this crew. Actually, Rayhan had a good, bold one, which was that he would lose Twitter followers.
Yeah. Okay. The rest of you guys, Weber, Grush, Hendrickson, Noonan, Hermanzi, Green, Trudell, you all suck, says Max. Last question here. Last question that shall ever be asked on the Elon Inc. show. As Elon Inc. goes away, but Elon himself, of course, until he may leave this earth, keeps doing his thing. So my question for all of you is, tell me what the next company is that he founds. Kurt, start with you. Give me your best answer. Don't think too much about it. And Kurt, because you're always crying that we go to you last, I will go to you first again.
Let's go.
If and when Musk dials up a new company, what is it? What's the new company? What's the business? Come on.
I'm going to piggyback on Dana and say something to do with fertility and birth rates. So I don't know if it'll be science-based or what, but it'll have to do with more people having more kids.
It's like a birth control pill that doesn't work.
Right.
Is going to be.
I've got one. I mean, he's always talked about how candy bars suck. Like, why isn't there a new candy bar? Like, why are we stuck with Snickers and Milky Way? Like, he's often intimated that there should be like a new kind of candy.
Do we think that's right? Do we think Snickers sucks?
No, Snickers is like undeniably like the best candy bar, right?
He's the new Willy Wonka. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
These are predictions, not the crap that our friends send us. Okay, so we've got a sex
fertility
robot.
Fertility.
I feel like it's going to be a robot that's going to make this happen. We've got a candy bar. Sarah, what do you got?
I'm gonna piggyback on what Kurt said and say that he's gonna try to make the Optimus robots be able to carry children.
What if there's an Optimus Neuralink kind of tie-in and like there's some kind of way to program it to breed, right?
All right.
I thought I had a pretty reasonable like fertility thing, which is now quickly turned into sex robots. So I just want to point out that my original prediction was
very into surrogacy. He's very into like outsourcing the creation of children.
Elon has pretty much said he's going to develop sex robots, right? I mean, he's like
everything everybody says. Max's answers. Oh, she's already said that he's already done it.
Okay.
Jesus, what do you got?
My prediction is that in January 2031, Elon Musk will be inaugurated as the next governor of Texas.
Wow, that's not It's not a company, but it's all right. We'll let it go. And he is, of course, legally allowed to run.
Right. And I think, so obviously when you get somebody like Elon Musk, rich guy, loves to be in politics, likes to be at the center of things, there's often speculation about a run for president. I guess never discount it, right? He's attempted crazier things in the past, maybe. But I kind of think being governor is fun. It's probably more fun than being president. He lives in Texas. It's a conservative state. He's one of the most famous people, like, in the world.
You won't have to divest anything, apparently.
I guarantee you there are political consultants who have contemplated this already. I don't know. I could kind of see it. Like Schwarzenegger, basically, but Elon.
Right. Very good. We are adjourned, ladies and gentlemen, for the last time. And let's get this right as I say goodbye to everybody. Sarah, Dana, Kurt, Max, it's been a pleasure.
Great to be here.
It's been a ride. Thanks, guys.
See you on Everybody's Business.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're going to check on those predictions.
Yes.
In a few years.
This episode was produced by Stacey Wong and edited by Anna Masarakis. Our supervising producer, as always, was Magnus Henriksen. The Elon Inc. theme was written and performed by Taka Yasuzawa and Alex Sugiura. Blake Maples handled engineering and Dave Purcell fact-checked. And I want to extend a big thanks to all of them and everyone else who worked hard behind the scenes to make the show go these past 2 years. Elon Inc. out.